Hello, America. JOC here with your Ranting Politics headline updates, where we are diving into today's most explosive political stories that you need to know about. Coming up, we'll dive into the collapse of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, with Israeli forces back in action after Hamas rejected multiple hostage deal proposals. Then we'll break down the escalating tensions between the US and Iran over those Houthi attacks in the Red Sea, and trust me, things are getting spicy. In domestic news, we've got some interesting developments in the Trump case, with Fani Willis facing a hefty fine for open records violations. Plus, President Trump's latest move to revoke Secret Service protection from the Biden kids has everyone talking, and if that wasn't enough, we've even got a diplomatic dust-up over the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, you heard that right. Stick around for all this and more in your daily dose of unfiltered news and common sense commentary. This is Ranting Politics Headline Updates. In a major development from the Middle East, the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has officially shattered, with Israeli fighter jets returning to the skies over Gaza. This comes after Hamas repeatedly rejected what Israeli officials describe as multiple reasonable proposals for a hostage deal, presented through U.S. President's envoy Steve Witkoff and other mediators. The Israeli Defense Forces didn't waste any time getting back to business, launching a series of targeted strikes against Hamas leadership and infrastructure across the Gaza Strip. Defense Minister Israel Katz's office made it crystal clear they're going after their war objectives full force, particularly focusing on securing the release of all hostages, both living and deceased. What's particularly interesting here is the strategic shift we're seeing. The IDF is specifically targeting mid-ranking military commanders and terrorist infrastructure, with dozens of targets already identified based on Hamas's apparent preparations to execute new attacks and rebuild their forces. And folks, this isn't just going to be an air campaign. Israeli officials are saying this offensive will expand beyond airstrikes and continue as long as necessary. Now, Hamas is sticking to their guns, insisting on their original demands: a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza and a permanent end to the war in exchange for releasing the remaining hostages. Netanyahu's response? A hard no. He's maintaining his position that the war won't end until Hamas's governing and military capabilities are completely dismantled. This breakdown comes after nearly 2 months of relative calm, during which we saw dozens of hostages released in exchange for almost 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. The implications for regional stability are significant, with Israel now warning that if Hamas doesn't release all hostages, they'll face unprecedented military pressure. Fox News reports that Israeli forces have already conducted strikes not just in Gaza, but also in southern Lebanon and southern Syria, targeting what they claim are terrorist cells planning attacks. This wider scope of operations suggests we might be looking at a broader regional escalation that could have far-reaching consequences for Middle East stability. The tension between the United States and Iran has reached a boiling point, with President Trump issuing stark warnings after a series of escalating confrontations in the Red Sea. Following extensive strikes against Houthi positions in Yemen, Trump didn't mince words, declaring that any further attacks would be met with, in his words, great force. The situation became particularly heated when Trump took to social media, directly accusing Iran of controlling the Houthi movement like puppet masters. He emphasized that Tehran would be held directly responsible for any future Houthi attacks, warning of what he called dire consequences. Iran's response was equally forceful. Their UN representative, Amir Saeed Iravani, fired back with a strongly worded letter to UN leadership, condemning what he called belligerent statements from US officials. The Iranians made it clear they won't back down, stating they'll defend their sovereignty against any hostile action and warning that America would bear full responsibility for any escalation. The Houthis themselves aren't backing down either. A source within their leadership told Newsweek they're prepared to increase pressure on maritime targets, threatening to confront any American escalation with unexpected force. They've already targeted more than 100 vessels they claim have ties to Israel, severely disrupting international trade through one of the world's most crucial shipping corridors. This standoff has serious implications for global commerce and regional stability. The Houthis, operating over 1,000 miles from the Gaza conflict's front lines, have managed to turn the Red Sea into a dangerous choke point for international shipping, driving up global transportation costs and threatening to spark a wider regional conflict. What's particularly concerning is how this fits into the broader pattern of escalation we've seen since October. The Houthis, as part of Iran's broader axis of resistance, have effectively opened another front in the ongoing Middle East tensions, transforming what started as a localized conflict into a potential powder keg that could ignite a much larger regional confrontation.
Hey, you brilliant inventors and creators. Have you crafted a product that's ready to break out from the digital world and hit the physical shelves? Imagine your creation sitting proudly in stores like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, where 90% of purchases still happen. Well, it's time to turn that vision into reality with Product Fury. At Product Fury, we specialize in bridging the gap between online innovation and retail giants. In fact, we have secured millions of dollars of royalty deals for dozens of products at big box retail stores. Whether you're selling gadgets, home goods, or anything innovative, we're here to amplify your reach. Don't keep your product confined to the web. Visit www.productfury.ai today to submit your information for a free product evaluation. Let's get your products out of the internet cloud and into customer carts. Remember, that's productfury.ai. Make the leap from clicks to bricks and see your product thrive in the bustling aisles of major retailers. It's your time to shine on the big stage. Visit us now.
Breaking news out of Georgia, where Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been ordered to pay over $54,000 in penalties for violating state open records laws in the Trump election interference case. Superior Court Judge Rachel Krause's ruling comes as a significant blow to Willis's office, finding that they intentionally failed to provide crucial documents about former Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's employment. This isn't just about paperwork. The court found that Willis's office showed outright hostility toward attorney Ashley Merchant, who filed the original motion to disqualify Willis. The court record shows that the DA's office even handled Merchant's records requests differently than others, with their records custodian refusing basic communication practices that were standard for everyone else. The ruling specifically calls out the DA's office's actions as intentional violations not done in good faith, and describes their behavior as substantially groundless and vexatious. The judge's order gives Willis's office 30 days to pay up and demands they finally hand over those requested documents about Wade's involvement in the case. This development adds another layer of complexity to the already controversial prosecution. Remember, this all stems from the same investigation that saw Willis removed from the case after evidence emerged of her romantic relationship with Wade, the special prosecutor she'd appointed. The relationship raised serious questions about potential financial conflicts of interest and the integrity of the prosecution. These latest findings by Judge Krause could have serious implications for the broader case against Trump. When a prosecutor's office is found to have intentionally violated transparency laws, it naturally raises questions about what they might have been trying to hide and whether there are other issues lurking beneath the surface. In a dramatic shift in White House security protocols, President Trump has officially revoked Secret Service protection for both Hunter and Ashley Biden, citing concerns over taxpayer expenses and Hunter's recent South African travels. The president's decision came after reports surfaced of Hunter Biden staying at a $500 per night villa in Cape Town, accompanied by what Trump claims was an extensive security detail of up to 18 agents. The move follows Hunter Biden's controversial trip to South Africa, which coincided with his scheduled court deposition. Making matters more complex, this luxury getaway came right after Hunter had claimed financial hardship in court, stating that neither his art nor his memoir were generating income, and that his family had been forced to relocate from their Malibu rental due to wildfires. The Secret Service has confirmed they're working to comply with the president's directive, though sources indicate the process of dismantling the security details will take some time due to necessary paperwork. This isn't just affecting Hunter. The president's order also strips protection from Ashley Biden, who reportedly had a detail of 13 agents. It's worth noting that Secret Service protection for adult children of presidents isn't automatic. It was specifically directed by former President Joe Biden. Trump's decision marks a significant departure from this arrangement, with the president specifically citing South Africa's current status on a financial assistance watch list as an additional factor in his decision. The Secret Service spokesperson, Anthony Guglielmi, has acknowledged the directive and confirmed the agency is actively working with the White House to ensure compliance. This marks one of the most significant changes to presidential family security arrangements in recent memory, following Trump's earlier decisions to remove protection for former officials like Mike Pompeo and John Bolton. Source for this report comes directly from authenticated White House communications and the New York Post's coverage of these security detail changes. And now, in what can only be described as a uniquely spicy diplomatic exchange, the White House has delivered a sharp history lesson to a French politician who apparently wants the Statue of Liberty back. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt didn't mince words when responding to European Parliament member Raphael Glucksmann's demand that America return Lady Liberty to France. During Monday's press briefing, Leavitt served up what might be the most pointed reminder of Franco-American history we've heard from the White House podium in quite some time. With a smile that could probably be heard in Paris, she suggested that this unnamed low-level French politician might want to remember that if it weren't for American intervention in World War II, they'd be speaking German instead of French. Glucksmann, who leads a small left-wing party in France, had dramatically declared to his supporters that America should give us back the Statue of Liberty because apparently you despise her. He referenced the famous Emma Lazarus poem about huddled masses yearning to breathe free, suggesting America was straying from these principles. But here's a quick history refresher that seems relevant. Lady Liberty wasn't exactly a return-to-sender kind of gift. The statue, which has graced New York Harbor since 1886, was conceived as a monument to French-American friendship marking America's centennial. It took quite a bit of collaborative effort to make it happen. The French funded the statue itself, while Americans covered the pedestal costs. According to UNESCO, which lists the Statue of Liberty as a World Heritage Treasure, the monument is firmly U.S. government property. So it looks like Lady Liberty will be keeping her view of the Manhattan skyline for the foreseeable future, regardless of any parliamentary theatrics across the Atlantic. And there you have it, folks. Another packed episode of headline-breaking stories that continue to shape our world. From the devastating collapse of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire to escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran. From the latest twists in the Trump legal saga to that fascinating French attempt to reclaim Lady Liberty, we've covered the full spectrum of today's most impactful news. These stories remind us that in our fast-moving world, staying informed isn't just important. It's essential. And that's exactly why we're here, cutting through the noise to bring you the stories that matter most, with the context you need to understand them. Don't miss a single update. Follow us on X at RantingRP, catch our daily episodes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. For deeper dives into these stories and exclusive content, head over to rantingpolitics.com. This is JOC signing off, and thank you, our loyal listeners, for choosing Ranting Politics headline updates. We'll be back soon with the updates you need to navigate these interesting times. Until then, stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, stay free.
Is your home's landscaping, exterior style, or outdoor space ready for a transformation? Whether you're lakeside or curbside, make the most of your property with Garden and Grow Design, your premier digital landscape designers. At Garden and Grow Design, we specialise in increasing the value and beauty of your home by crafting elegant outdoor living spaces. Our experienced and creative designers use cutting-edge 3D technology to blend seasonal colours, perennial blooms and stylish hardscapes into your ideal garden. And the best part? It's all designed for minimal maintenance. Don't just imagine your perfect yard. See it first with our innovative digital designs. Whether it's a serene waterfront retreat or a chic patio for entertaining, we bring your outdoor dreams to life. Ready to grow? Visit www.gardenandgrowdesign.com to start your journey toward a breathtaking landscape today. Garden and Grow Design, cultivate beauty, cultivate life.